The morning sun had barely crested the horizon when Arak, the strongest hunter of the Tara tribe, stood atop a jagged ridge overlooking the vast savanna. His skin glistened with the sweat of preparation, muscles tense and primed for the hunt. The wind carried the scent of wet earth, grass and distant rivers, mingled with the sharp metallic odor of unseen predators. In this world, every sound mattered, every movement could mean life or death. The Tara tribe, his people, slept in the shadow of a massive cave, its jagged entrance carved naturally from stone. Wide enough to shelter dozens, women had begun the morning fire, smoke spiraling into the sky like a silent signal. Children, wrapped in animal hides, stirred, rubbing their eyes as they adjusted to the first weak rays of sun. The world was still wild and untamed. Mammoths roamed in distant valleys. Giant birds soared overhead, and unseen beasts rustled through the trees. Arak raised his hand, signaling Lyra and Con, two younger hunters eager to follow him. Today, they would hunt a great stag spotted near the river. Their survival depended on skill, courage, and luck. Weapons were primitive, spears sharpened from flint, knives from obsidian, and bows carved from the strongest branches. Yet even these tools could not protect them from everything. Some dangers were older than humans, lingering in shadows and whispers. The trio moved silently through the long grass, each step calculated. The sun rose higher, warming their dark skin, illuminating every leaf, every ripple in the water. Arak's eyes, trained over decades, spotted the stag grazing by the riverbank. Its massive antlers glinted in the morning light. The hunters crouched, their spears poised. Suddenly, a rustling in the nearby bushes made them freeze. Nothing appeared, yet the sound persisted. Lyra whispered, "It's probably a fox or a jackal." Arak shook his head, motioning for silence. Deep in his gut, he felt it was something else, something unseen. Then came the whisper, soft, almost too faint to hear. "This is my place." The hunters stiffened. The voice seemed to emanate from the air itself, curling around their ears. Arak gritted his teeth. Ignore it. Focus on the stag. But even as they stalked forward, the words echoed, twisting through the reeds, through the sunlight and into the hunters' minds. The stag bolted before the hunters could strike. Frustration and unease settled over them. The supernatural world, it seemed, had already claimed its first victim, the hunt itself. By midday, the tribe had gathered around the fire, roasting small game and foraged roots. Mara, the shaman, an old woman with eyes pale and piercing, spoke quietly to the younger members. "Do not go too far into the forest. Some paths are not meant for men. Some sounds are older than your kind." Children played with sharpened stones, banging them together to mimic the sounds of real tools. Women ground roots into pastes, carried water from the nearby stream, and prepared small meals. Despite their simple lifestyle, each day was filled with purpose, each movement essential for survival. The fire was their constant companion, warmth, protection, and a symbol of life itself. But that evening, the cave shifted. Shadows seemed longer, darker, almost alive. From its depths, a voice hissed again, "Leave or remain forever." No one dared answer. Arak tightened his grip on his spear, scanning the darkened interior. Lyra and Con looked pale, their hands trembling. Even the children sensed something was wrong. The animals restless outside, responding to a threat humans could not see. The supernatural awakens. Night fell, and the stars pierced the sky like frozen fire. Arak gathered a small group to investigate deeper into the cave. Mara warned him not to go, whispering chants that no one else could understand. But the hunter's pride and curiosity pushed him forward. Lyra and Con followed. Each step into the darkness seemed heavier than the last. The inner chambers were damp and cold. Water dripped from the stone ceiling. Ancient carvings, long forgotten, decorated the walls. Handprints, symbols, twisted humanoid shapes that seemed almost alive, stared back at them in flickering torchlight. Then movement. Shadows danced independently of the firelight, stretching and twisting along the walls. A cold wind brushed Arak's neck, carrying the unmistakable smell of decay. Khan whispered, voice shaking, It's watching us." A deep, incomprehensible chant rose from the cavern. "This is my place. The words seemed to resonate in their bones. Lyra gasped as a shadow detached itself from the wall, solidifying briefly into a grotesque humanoid figure with empty eyes and a mouth that whispered in silence. Arak thrust his spear forward, but it passed through the figure as though it were made of mist. The presence pressed closer, cold and suffocating. The hunters backed away, hearts pounding. The shadows seemed to twist reality. A rock would move where no hand had touched it. The dripping water became a rhythmic heartbeat, slow and menacing. Whispers echoed in their minds, repeating their own fears back at them, twisting their thoughts. The first loss. By morning, Arak emerged from the depths alone. Con and Lyra were gone. The tribe found him at the cave's entrance, collapsed, pale and trembling. His eyes were wide, staring into nothing. He could not speak. His hands clawed at the dirt, as if trying to escape the memory of what he had seen. Mara approached, placing her hand on his shoulder. The cave claims what it must. Respect it, or it will take more. The tribe realized that survival meant more than hunting. The supernatural presence had marked their territory. To thrive, they would need to understand it, appease it, or live in fear. Weeks passed. The tribe adapted. Hunting parties moved silently, avoiding areas near the cave's inner chambers. Women left offerings of roots, berries, and small game at the cave's entrance. Children were taught to respect the shadows, to never wander alone. Sleep was light, dreams haunted by whispers and unseen eyes. The fire became not just warmth, but a barrier against the darkness. Stone tools were improved, sharpened with meticulous care. But even the finest weapons could not pierce the invisible. Meals were eaten quickly, eyes scanning the shadows. Water was fetched in groups, always watching for movement. Every full moon, the whispers returned, calling from deep within the stone. The tribe would sit together, chanting protective words taught by Mara, hoping to keep the ancient presence satisfied. Encounters with the unseen. One night, a new threat appeared. A young hunter, Tallow, wandered too close to the inner cave chambers, drawn by curiosity. Shadows twisted around him, whispering his name. His spear slipped from his grasp. A cold hand, unseen but tangible, seemed to grip his shoulder. He screamed, and the cave echoed back the sound, distorted as if mocking him. Lyra and Arak rushed in, finding him trembling, his eyes blackened with fear. "The cave remembers," Mara said, her voice trembling, "and it does not forgive easily." The tribe now understood. They were living alongside something older, something conscious. They were not alone. Their ancestors had built their lives on survival, but now, a consciousness older than humanity itself tested their courage. Over the years, the Tara tribe's story spread. Nearby tribes spoke of a cave alive with whispers, of shadows that could not be chased away, and of hunters who vanished for venturing too far. Some dared not approach, leaving offerings from afar, hoping to appease the unseen force. The cave became a sacred place, a boundary between the known and the unknown. Its whispers persisted, gentle yet terrifying. "This is my place." Generations later, archaeologists and scientists would find the remnants of these people, stone tools, carvings, bones arranged in patterns no human alone could create. And sometimes late at night, wind flowing through these caves still carries soft, echoing whispers. The tribe learned that life was more than fire and food. It was about balance, respect, and understanding the forces around them. Some nights children would hear whispers and giggle, thinking it a game while elders shivered. Stories of the cave became moral lessons. Fear was necessary. Respect was vital. Survival required wisdom beyond strength. In time, the supernatural became intertwined with the tribe's rituals. Offerings, chants, and silent observances were their tools for coexistence. Hunting, gathering, cooking, all became acts of devotion as well as survival. The cave had not merely terrorized them, it had taught them to live fully in a dangerous world. Conclusion. Centuries passed. The Tara tribe faded, leaving no written record. Only the cave remained, its walls etched with ancient stories and human impressions. Yet the whispers lingered, a haunting echo of a world long past. This is my place. Even today, Researchers exploring Africa's oldest caves occasionally find carvings, handprints and markings that defy explanation. The air sometimes carries whispers, faint but persistent, as though the earth remembers its first children. And the force is older than them all. The story of the Tara tribe reminds us that humans were once young, wild and vulnerable. They lived in a world alive with danger, beauty and mystery. And in the shadows of that world, ancient forces watched, guiding, testing, and whispering, teaching humanity its first lessons in fear, respect, and survival.